Welcome to the High Rankings podcast, brought to you by Dispensary-Growth, the preeminent SEO agency for dispensaries. Each episode will dive into the world of search engine optimization for cannabis dispensaries. We'll discuss the latest strategies and tactics to help your dispensary rank higher on search engines and attract more patients and customers. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, join us as we explore how to maximize your online presence and stay ahead of the competition in the rapidly growing cannabis industry.
Hello, welcome back to episode 53 of our podcast. If I sound annoyed, it's because I am. It's because I've been waiting 4 hours to record this podcast.
Oh my God.
While Charlie fucks around.
Here we
I don't
go.
know what he's been doing all morning, but that's why I'm exasperated.
Everything annoys you, Kaz. Anyway.
Let's catch up. What have been going on in your life since the last...
Went to the Final Four.
I'm spending 4 hours of my life today.
Whatever, Kazbots. Okay, so let's catch up. I was Friday, buzzed out of here. By here, I mean Denver. Went to the Final Four. That was pretty cool. Never been to something like that before. Cheering on NC State. They're the huge underdog. I think they played Purdue. No, they didn't get smoked, but they did not win. I think they lost by like 10, which is like NC State shouldn't have even been there in the first place. They're like huge underdogs. The fact that they made the tournament is pretty wild. The fact that they got to the Final Four is, I guess, mind blowing. They hadn't done it since, I believe, 83. So it was cool to hop over to Scottsdale, where all the festivities are. Let's see, we did like the whole day thing. So the game started at 3. We hopped over around like 11 to like the outdoor. There's like indoor activities and outdoor activities. So we went to the outdoor activities. Started with, like some day drinking, caught up with some friends, and that was a lot of fun. That was cool. Go inside. Tickets were good. I'd say we weren't by too many. I can't recall who I didn't go to NC State, obviously. So it's not that I didn't care. I just can't remember who they played. So I think they played Purdue. Anyway, we sat by some Purdue fans. They weren't like assholes about it. Your team fucking sucked. There's like none of that. So yeah, we tripped a little bit, but nothing bad. So they ended up losing. We stayed a bit for the second game. They staggered the games back to back, and UConn smoked. I believe it was UConn that just smoked the other team. So we went out to dinner that night and flew out Sunday. If I sound sick, it's because I am sick.
Wah, wah, wah.
Of course, Kaz is bullshit. So, yeah, I've been coughing. Oh, my God. I didn't tell you. This is kind of gross, but...
Nobody needs to know.
Taking off. I had to hawk the worst loogie. Oh, my God. It was like hurting my breathing and not hurting it. Like when you can feel it in your throat and you're like, oh, my God, you just have to hawk the biggest fucking loogie. It was bad. And I kept like coughing. And luckily, like all the noise just from taking off, Yeah. So anyway, let's see. Did that. Yeah. That was basically the weekend. Got out. Buzzed out of Denver on Friday afternoon, came back Sunday night. Yeah, just sick of your shit putting up with you. But, Yeah, I think that was about it. How about what's going on in your world?
Kitchen's done, pretty much.
Like 98% done?
Yep. It's just small cosmetic things now that when our friend gets back off vacation, he'll have to come over and do.
You went on vacation before finishing his project?
I'm kind of annoyed about it, but also...
Yeah, I'd be fucking annoyed.
It is what it is. It's nothing that means we can't use the kitchen. There is one cupboard that has a pull-out in it that we were going to install the pull-out, and then we realized that he had put the handle on the cupboard door and it's in the wrong spot, so we can't do that. We need a whole new cupboard door. But anyway, so the laundry room is almost done except for a pull-out that has to go in one of those cupboards. But other than that, it's all done. And the kitchen's pretty much same things, couple minor things in there. But you saw the pictures I sent you yesterday. It looks banging. Love it. So there's that. Then I went shopping. I had a girls' day out shopping on Friday, which I can't tell you the last time I did that. Like, literally can't tell you. And I had a list of things I wanted to get, and I got some of them. I didn't get all of them. I got a birthday gift from my friend whose birthday's in November, but I like to be organized. I got some jeans. I got 3 McLaren t-shirts and a McLaren hoodie. I bought you something that you don't fucking deserve.
Yeah.
I got another pair of Key sunglasses because they're my favorite. I love them. I wear them. They're aviators all the time. And I had this particular pair and I bought them for when I went to Bimini last year. And then 3 of the 4 of us lost sunglasses in the sea in Bimini because we were jumping the waves because the waves were like high and it was really cool. And we all got smacked and lost sunglasses. And I lost this pair, so I replaced them. I don't know what else I got. I feel like I got something else, but I don't remember what it was. But anyway, and then we had lunch. So that was nice. And then I don't remember what else I did at the weekend. The Japanese Grand Prix was on. Oh, I know exactly what I did. Japanese Grand Prix was on. No surprise who won it, shockingly. So that was on at crazy o'clock in the morning. But I literally spent the weekend cleaning. So because everything was finished, I could go in and then clean up everything and then organize it and arrange it the way that it needed to be done, which I've been holding off because it hasn't been finished. So like just did a whole bunch of deep cleaning and getting the house done. And my husband finished the electrical and stuff. So it was mostly just doing that at the weekend. It was not boat weather, so we did not go out on the boat. And then I have been doing my PT. So that's been fun twice a week. Good times. Finally made it to the gym yesterday because I had permission to go, but I can't do a whole lot, but still went. So that's good. And that's it, really. Oh, did you guys get the eclipse yesterday or no?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Were you in the line of totality or whatever they call it?
No, I was just I was so like, I really hate being like, I sound like every person ever. Oh, I hate being sick. I love being sick. It's just like, okay, that's cool. Like, I didn't really, it's not that I didn't care. It was just not top of mind yesterday. It's more.
Yeah, I didn't go out either. But like, so my friends in Ohio were literally in that line of totality, I guess. But we were not. So I didn't even dog. So I didn't really bother. But yeah, it's like, okay, cool. What else? That's it, I think. That's all my news.
Are you going to watch Succession?
Don't even talk to me about that. We've already discussed this many times.
Fuck's sakes.
I told you, give me your login and I'll watch it. And then you're like, oh, I don't think I can. It's all part of a bun. Whatever. You've got excuses. I don't have Showtime.
Motherfucker, you have excuses for not having it. Just get it.
I don't have.
You get a 2-day or 2-week trial.
I even looked for it and I don't have it. And then I was like, give me your password. And you're so stingy. You won't even give me your password.
I think I can share a password, I think. But the point is you're going to watch other shows on HBO like White Lotus.
I don't really watch a lot of TV, though.
You have so much free time.
I actually ridiculously am quite busy. And I don't really watch TV. I typically read.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. Anyway.
I just thought of something else I did. I don't know if I even told you I was doing them. Have you, and you don't have dogs, so whatever, but have you ever heard of Sniff Spot?
No. What is that?
It's this app, right? And people who have like big fenced in yards or they have a farm or whatever, they will rent out like their backyard or their farm field or something for like between say $5 and $10 for an hour, right? And if you have a dog that's reactive, so like can't be around other dogs, or you don't want to take your dog to a dog park, which I wouldn't because who the hell knows what's going to happen in a dog park, or like us, you don't have a fenced in yard, you can rent out this spot. These people, I believe, have already been vetted and they have to submit pictures of their spot and everything else, right? So you can rent it out for like an hour for up to, I think it's 20 dogs. And you can take your dog there and it's fully fenced in. So they can't, well, you pick what you want, right? So some of them, they have pools for the dogs, like it depends what you're looking for, but I just wanted a place where I could take Dog and she could just run because we take her for walks all the time, but I don't have a fenced in backyard, so she can't just run. So there was a place that was like less than a mile from my house that we took her to, and they had balls everywhere. They had agility equipment. They had a big bowl of water. They had chairs for us to sit in, shade. In the summer, she puts out a paddling pool. And we just took Dog there and took one of her balls and we just let her run and just chase the ball for like, she conked out after about 40 minutes because Frenchies, you know, they don't have, like, they have all this energy, but they can't go for an hour. Yeah. And she loved it. She just ran and ran and ran and she had the best time. So like, I cannot recommend it enough. Say, for whatever reason, you know, you want your dog to be able to go to a safe location, fenced in. There's no other dogs allowed. It's yours for the hour that you're there. So you don't share it with anybody else.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it is amazing. And she loved it. So the problem is I can't really take her in the summer because it's so hot and so humid, she will just overheat. So I picked an evening when it was cooler, so she'd have more time to run around. So in the summer, it's not really going to be as viable, but definitely if I can find a cool evening just to take her over there, it's amazing. So I believe it's like if you're it doesn't matter where you live, you can download this app and see what's around you. And then you can see pictures online. You can see what their rules are. You can see what they have available to you in the spot. You can see other people's reviews of it before you even pick it. So I definitely would recommend it if you need something like that.
You guys can do it every weekend?
No. Again, because of the heat specifically, but I will send you a video of her in there. Like she is just running. Like she loved it. It was amazing. So that's my free plug for Sniff Spot, if anybody is interested.
Sniff Spot. Cool idea for an app.
Yeah, it's called Sniff Spot. You just download it and then you can look and see what's available in your area. And everything is we harp on about this a lot when we talk about apps and websites, but its interface is so easy. It's user-friendly. A 5-year-old could use it. So 100% would recommend. No, I'm not sponsored. We are not sponsored. I just think it's a great app and it worked out really well for us. So yeah.
Cool. Nice. Dope idea.
Well, on to the podcast for this week. What are we talking about today?
We were talking about getting found on the internet, getting your website found. So indexability. Indexing is being read by Google. So being read and live on Google search engines.
When you say being read by, do you mean like being found and then screened by, or?
Yeah, being found and then having your website read by Google so it knows what your website is about, it being Google. So the Google bots find your dispensary blog about, we always use this example, purple weed. And they say, okay, when somebody searches what is purple weed, what indica, sativa, what kinds of strains, whatever it is, that content pops up. So it's being found and being read by Google.
So you can't just like make a website and throw it up onto the World Wide Web and throw it into space. Like you have to actually physically do something in order to let Google know, like, hey, I'm a website and I'm here and I want you to find me.
Yeah, you can't just oh, here's www.dispensary.com and just sit back and like hope customers find your dispensary. You can't do that. So you have to abide by Google guidelines. You have to abide, there's best practices. You can get your website live, like we were just starting out. Let's get your website live and then, install Google Analytics and Google Search Console. And inside Google Search Console, there's something called a sitemap. And you should install a plugin if you're using WordPress, a plugin on your dispensary website called Yoast. Yoast will do a sitemap for you. Take that sitemap, which is just a URL. So it's like dispensary.com/sitemap.xml. Just copy that into your Google Search Console sitemap section. It's on the left-hand side and just submit it.
Real quick, if you go to episode 22 of our podcast, we actually talk about Yoast quite a lot. That podcast is about plugins. And we actually talk about Yoast quite a lot because Yoast is helpful for other things, not just like indexing. Yoast is one of those plugins where we highly recommend that you do have it. So if you want to hear more about that, episode 22 of our podcast. So you basically let Google know that you're there with your sitemap. Well, your sitemap you update all the time, right? So you let Google know there's a new page. Don't just do it one time and be like, hey, Google, I'm a website. Every time you create a new page for your website, you update your sitemap. So you tell Google, hey, Google, I know you know about my website, but here's a new page I want you to crawl. Boom.
Exactly. So as you add new pages, new content, which you should be doing to your website, increase the net for more fish to be captured. That sitemap should be submitted after each published page. Yeah.
Would there ever be a reason to not index a page?
Yeah. So like you would not want to index pages that are very low value. So pages like a cart page, for example, or like sometimes we'll like internally for our clients, they might ask for a page that has embedded reports of SEO just on their website so they can easily just find it. And we just share the URL with them. That page should not be indexed like under any circumstances because that's obviously private data. So that should not be indexed. So low value pages should not be indexed to answer your question.
Okay. How do you not index a page though? Because when you update the sitemap, right, doesn't it just automatically pull
Yeah,
all the-
so you can do it through Yoast on like I think it's like the SEO settings or like advanced settings. You just scroll down and you'll see a setting under advanced that says allow search engines to index this page, yes or no, and just click no.
Oh, okay. So it's literally like clicking a button then.
Yeah, just a setting. Yeah.
So that's interesting because I don't really do the back end of websites much anymore. So I guess I had just forgotten that was a thing. But that does make sense because, like you said, if it's something internal, you certainly don't want anybody else being able to get that information off that page. So
Yeah, right.
So is there a downside of indexing a page? Not really, right? Because Google's just going to crawl it or whatever.
No, not really. Just be smart with the crawl budget. So
What do you mean by crawl budget?
like the finite amount of times that Google will crawl/read your website. So because of that, you only want Google to crawl and read your blog posts, your state pages, your city pages, your FAQs, your product pages, all of that. So they should only read certain content on your website, and that budget shouldn't be wasted on just like, BS pages.
Okay, back this up. When you say finite, do you mean the number of pages it will crawl, or do you mean the number of times it will crawl your website pages?
A crawl budget is both.
That was your answer.
Yeah, it's both.
Okay, so then let me ask you this. If it's both, right? And say you put up 3 blog posts a week, right? And you index them using your sitemap in this crawl budget thing, right? Does that mean that Google would, given that it has a finite number of pages that it crawls, does that mean that Google would crawl the newer pages first, the newer indexed pages first, before it would ever crawl the older pages? Because it's a finite number, right? So
Yeah.
you don't want it crawling a blog post from 2 years ago. You want it to be crawling the blog post that you put up in the last week or so.
Okay, so what you can do to check this is go into Google Search Console. On the left-hand side, go under URL inspection.
Yeah.
Paste a URL in there, and then it'll tell you URL is on Google, like a green check mark. And then you can say request indexing, view crawled page. If you go under view crawled page, it's literally just like the code, like the guts of the web page. You do request indexing, which is exactly what it is. You're going to ask Google to take a look at it again. So that's the easy way. So go into Search Console on the left-hand side, go into URL inspection, and just paste in like your blog or like your strain guide or whatever it is.
That's pretty cool. That's cool. Look at this. I'm learning new things every day.
Damn.
Sweet. So in terms of like specifically for dispensaries, then I would assume it's more crucial for dispensaries to have indexable pages, right? Because again, we can't advertise. We already know this. But in terms of like products and stuff, being able to have those pages indexed and showing up on a Google search is like vital in terms of getting customers into.
Oh, it's critical. Yeah.
Getting into their dispensary because it's the only way they're going to be able to do it.
Yep, exactly. So that's why it's important to have a proper menu. So not an iframe like those old, iframes from, everybody used to do it, Dutchy, Jane, something indexable like Mosaic, Jane Boost, Dutchy Plus, get those products found, because if not, you're missing huge opportunities to rank for like Maui Wowie strain, sour diesel near me, et cetera, because a lot of people search those keywords, and that's bottom of funnel customers that are looking to buy. They're ready to buy. They just need to know where to go. That's a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah. So basically you have to make sure that, well, what we've been doing a lot recently for our customers is like product SEO, which we just talked about last episode before, very, very recently. You want to make sure that you absolutely do your product SEO, because again, then you're going to make sure that your pages are indexed. Because without that, it's great if you have your products on your page for people to buy them. But if you haven't done your product SEO and they are stuck behind that wall, no one's going to find them through a search. Now, your existing customers will, obviously, or people that come across your page will. But if somebody's looking specifically for, say, purple weed, and you have not done your product SEO and therefore it's not indexing, they're not going to find you by looking for that particular product. And that, again, is all part of what you're trying to achieve here. You're trying to be found in the most ways possible, basically.
Exactly. Cast that net as wide as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's dispensary near me or best dispensary or dispensaries that deliver or purple weed or whatever it is, you don't want to concentrate on just being found one way, like by, I don't know, the GMB or something. You want to literally have as many of your pages showing up on the Google search engine results page as possible in as many different ways. So that's why by doing product SEO is such a great way, because you can get so many different products showing up on a Google search.
Bam. And yeah, there's great tools out there like we've talked about. Mosaic, JaneBoost, DigiPlus. And they're very easy to install, very easy to transition into, and easy to use. And they make all that boring technical stuff easy for you. So like structured data, schema, all that. They take care of that for you.
That is boring. I'm not going to lie. That's why we like them so much, though, because they do so much of the work. You don't have to worry about it. That's why
it just does it for you. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, so you don't have to do it all. Because honestly, on its own, just doing the research for the product SEO, coming up with your keywords, your content outline, your actual content, that in itself is time consuming. So for people like Mosaic or Dutchy to come along and take off half of the work for you is like the added bonus. So you don't have to worry about doing it. So that's why we like them so much. Is there really anything else that we need to go over about indexing?
No, just make your site easy to be found by the customers in your local area. And that's indexing. So put up your website, submit it to Google, put up good content, make it structurally sound. So like H1, put your keyword in there, H2s, put everything in there. And you should audit your website too. You should, real quick. So auditing your website. So you do that by going and using a tool called SEMrush, which we are partial to. And you run a site audit. And then in that site audit, you go to the issues tab and then click on category and then click on crawlability. And then it'll say like, you have like 3 crawlability errors or like 4 crawlability errors, whatever it is. And then you can just fix it from there. And there's like, if it says like a problem with your robots.txt file, which is so technical, it'll show you how to properly fix that, which is good.
We actually have an episode on website audits as well. Look at us. Because we've done so many episodes now, I can refer you to episodes. Episode number 14, which was done almost a year ago now, is on website audits. So if you want to dive a bit deeper into website audits than we've talked about here, go listen to episode 14 and that will help you.
Boom. That's about it for this. Just mainly keep your website in good health, run audits, make your website as easy to be found as possible in your local community. Yeah, just stick with the basics. Good technical health, run the audits, good content, proper keyword research, take a look at what your competitors are doing, and good backlinks. So like local citations, and keep an eye on your GMB, Google business profile, so that nothing happens to it, proper linking. And that's a good start.
Sweet. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap up for this week. Maybe next week I won't be so annoyed because I won't be waiting around for 4 hours to record.
Oh no, everything revolves around Casbots.
Anywho, did I send you the video of the dolphins that we saw last time?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Anyway, that's it for this episode. We will be back next week with a whole new episode. Until then, you know where to find us: LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. Comment, like, subscribe, review. And I think that just about covers it. And we will be back with a wonderful new episode in a week from today. Bye-bye.
Peace.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the High Rankings podcast, brought to you by Dispensary-Growth, the preeminent SEO agency for dispensaries. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you found value in the insight and the tips we shared. If you did, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're feeling super generous, we would love it if you left us a review. If there's a specific topic you'd like us to cover in a future episode, or if you have any questions, you can go ahead and find us on LinkedIn or YouTube. We'll see you next time.